Yeah, baby. Mm. Fuck. Oh, why's my face cam not working? Plugged in. Okay, 1 second. Okay, this is strange. My face cam's not working right now. See if I can make this work this time. We're just like re-adding it. Well, now that works. Okay. All right. Perfect. We did it. Okay, I'm just gonna grab a little bit more water for my palate. We'll get started. Perfect. I got these models primed and built earlier today. I definitely didn't start getting myself ready for stream at 6 a.m. today, so it's not like I've been trying to get ready since yeah, been at my desk since about 6:30. But we're now prepped and ready. We've got content for the day. We can do our regular Thursday paint session now. And I'm just going to kind of get myself situated with where I'm going to start. And I think it's going to be the zombies. Because they're going to be kind of fun and easy to paint. And I'm going to put a couple colors down on my palette. Because I can. I'm gonna do purple. How many we'll do 3 colors for the corpses. We'll do a kind of a blue, a purple, and a green. Traditional death colors. The green, I'm just gonna add in a small drop of the dark snake blue to make it just a wee bit darker, because it's just want that to be a little bit more green. Use your mixing brush to mix your paint. Needs another touch of green. Okay, there we go. Got our 3 first colors put down. And we're just gonna grab our zombie. Don't use our good brush. We're gonna or don't use the long brush, but we are gonna use one of our sables for this. And I apologize, that stream is a little bit late today. We had a it just took me a little bit longer to get everything prepped than I thought it was going to. But now that we're here, we can enjoy it. So we're gonna start slapping down some base coats. And we're gonna work on various kinds of putrefaction today. Doing gross stuff, because I know you guys love when I get into my gross, gore, and my undead stuff. And you'll notice that my zenithal isn't really doing much, and that's fine. Mostly just so I can see all the details easier. I don't actually zenithal because I feel like it does anything on the finished product. I do it so I can see the model better while I'm working on it. So if you ever feel like you're seeing people using the zenithal highlights and all that and being like, oh, I need to be doing that, I'm going to tell you, like, honestly, I don't think it changes my end result all that much. I think the part that actually changes my end result because of it is the fact that I can see the model better. Because I prime them in a way that I can see see all the details better. Hello, Benethir. How are you doing today? Hope you're having a good one. Sorry if it took me a moment to see that. I just focusing in on what we're doing here, slapping down a couple base coats, just getting started for the day. Hope you're doing well, though. Just using a bit of a mix of Pro Green and Snakebite Blue by Vallejo to get those base coats down, get that nice kind of grotesque green flesh going on. But just starting this project now. Do you also paint minis or yeah? Do you do Blood Bowl, 40K? Like what's your jam? I when I'm studio boneless, I paint professionally, so I do commission. I also do display painting and some personal stuff. The Blood Bowl's a personal project. Most of the Blood Bowl stuff is. Typically, when we're like my stuff is usually going to be skirmisher games. I don't typically do the big stuffs because I don't have the time to paint whole armies anymore. Too busy painting whole armies for other people. So, unfortunately, that takes away my time to paint my own whole armies. We got a few projects on the go. We're doing the Blood Bowl. We got the 3 display pieces that we're working for SMC, as well as we have the Chaos Army. So you picked a fun and interesting time to be stopping by. We also do readings sometimes. We did, I think it was Saturday, we read the Hyborian Essay and Phoenix on the Sword. So we've done a couple Conan reading. We did the Hedge Knight. And then I think the next reading stream we're going to do is probably going to be either... Not sure. I gotta see how my voice is doing. We were gonna read today, but doing one on Saturday, I don't have the... Apparently I don't have the voice anymore to do that much, like, heavy voice acting and reading without, like, warming up. So I gotta start getting myself back to it. There we go. Just throw down some of that nasty green skin real fast. We got some neck poking out over here. Yeah. It's okay if you don't get everything, but we're starting out pretty easy. All right, got the 2 green ones. Let's do the purple. So this is, again, we're going to show off 3 different recipes for undead skin here. So that's going to be kind of fun too. So we're going to show off a couple different styles, bit of putrefaction, bit of this, bit of that. But we're going to show off, yeah, a few different styles of painting undead. Which is good, because, like, if anybody in here has, like, a Nurgle army or plays anything where you have lots of zombies, like, if you're a Zombicide player, it's nice to know that there's, like, hundreds of recipes to paint zombies, which can end up creating a much more interesting-looking horde at the end, even if they don't all take a ton of extra effort.
Just focus on grabbing all those little meaty areas that are exposed. If you get it on the spikes, it's fine. If you get it on anything, honestly, it's fine. You can clean it all up afterwards. Obviously, try to be neat,
but don't stress if you're making little oopsies here and there.
We all do it. But honestly, like one of the things I find that really can be boring is that like when people tend to paint zombies, they tend to often look very same.
And I think it's really important that people work in those
extra vibrant colors.
Should also throw my headphones on. I just realized I can't even hear my music. What are we listening to right now? What's the vibe? What's the vibe today? Oh, that's giving some feedback there. Sorry about that. Okay, that's gonna adjust that because those are actually picking up now. So let's do. There we go. I'm gonna get new headphones. I really would like ones that don't like make my jaw hurt by the end of the day. Anybody have any recommendations for like earbud headphones that are good for streaming with? Or if there's a way I can rig up my speakers so that way my microphone won't pick them up. And there we go. Get the purple on the back. Looks like the kitty wants some attention. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Why did a piece of dirt just come out of your mouth? Why are you eating dirt? Put your hands up. Tell them, no, this is how we do it. We're here to turn it up. And away we go. I was just realizing too, one of the nice things I could do once I record enough of these audiobooks, I can just paint and listen to them. Save me. Can just if I need 3 hours of just being like, I just want to paint without having to talk. I'll put on one of my audiobooks I've recorded. Also, just going to take a very quick washroom break before we get too far into it today because my tummy just told me I need to go have a pee. Well, it's not really my tummy telling me that, but I just got that I needs to pee feeling. So we're going to go and do that. We're going to do that, and then we're going to get into some more painting. Once the first color is applied down, and you're going to see this project's going to move really fast. You're not even going to believe it. And we're back. But yeah. So welcome in. Welcome in. The blue ones started next. Again, I always like to have multicolored zombies. Cat scream. He's okay. He's had food, he's had water, he's had play. This one's not glued down properly. We'll have to fix that. Also, it's giving me too much background noise. What is it? What tab is open making noise? That would be Jace. Damn it, Jace. We're gonna close you out. Or mute you, sorry. Couldn't figure out what I kept hearing in the background, and I was like, oh, it's Jace. There we go. Got the blue down for the one. Let's get it down for the next one. And there we go. And there we go. First blue one's done. And like such. The other blue zombie. It's called boom explosions, overpowering all the competition out. What's up, Jinx? We are painting zombies and skeletons today. Been a quiet one so far. A little bit late getting live. Was doing a bunch of prep this morning, trying to get stuff done for the day. So I've been up since. But I've been at my desk since about 6:30 this morning. I had to get a bunch of priming done. I had to get a bunch of shit built. I had to get I had to get all my off-stream stuff done. The parts that are kind of boring and people don't want to watch. Yeah, been good so far though. How's your morning been? So we're still in the coffee phase. Also, I'm not sure if if you need to know or anything. For the lesson today, I'm gonna be super duper upfront with you right now. This is what I want to focus on. Is I want to get this right. That's my goal for this one. Is I want to work on this section of the arm because I'm struggling with it. So that's pretty much it. So I need some help with when we do our lesson later. I'm gonna think it's gonna be like trying to get some help figuring out that shoulder and the blends on that arm. And then we got skellies. We got 6 skellies. And we can do them like bone. Easiest way to do it at this scale is to pick if it's going to be live bone or dead bone. Man, welcome in. Hope you're having a good morning so far. I'm going to take my Volupus Pink contrast now. Bit of water in my brush. Hope you're having a great day so far. I think it's let's see, evening for you, but been a good morning for me so far. Been at my desk for 5 hours now. I've been working for about 5 hours now since I got up. And I'm going to start these bones off with a magenta, like I'm using Volupus Pink. It's a contrast paint. This is the times the Zenithal bit does come in handy, is I just get to skip some of those first steps and use the colors I've already established. And I know you guys are probably thinking, like, wait, why bone? Magenta? Somebody taught me about painting live bone recently. Yeah, no, don't worry if you're getting it on like the bracers or anything like that. Just really make sure you're just getting this color all over all the bone. Getting a nice good coat of it. Yeah, just like that. I bet Jinxie did it. Believe it or not, this one actually was Mr. Pigments. Believe it or not, that one was Mr. Pigments. Told me to start painting my bone magenta. But that's a really, I'm gonna say, that's a really good guess. Like, I don't think anybody's gonna be like, that was, I don't think anybody's gonna question that being your guess. Like, I think I think I feel like that was a trick question the way I set that up. That being said, Mr. Pigments is very, very good with his technical painting knowledge. He's very good with the technical. I'm a little more practical, but both approaches work. Okay, there we go for Skelly. Painted paint, or that's the two pink Skellies. What other colors should we put down? We should do one of them in a green, or we should do some green skeletons, or red skeletons, or brown skeletons. I mean, the brown ones we should probably do. We'll take a bit of Fire Slayer flesh for the next one. Oh, I fucking love this song. And for the Fire Slayer flesh, I'm going to use this one over the bandages on the mummy. Fuck this gibbery fast rapping too quick. What happened to the boom bip? What you think you a Bushnik? Gotta be dope. Afro. And then also, I love that they got Jazzy Jeff to do the beat for this. I assume most of you will know who that is. Some people ran past out the back from where I live. Is something happen or what's going on? Treat me like Jon Snow. I know nothing. Probably a marathon going on or something. I just really thinned out my Cygor Brown because I want a browner brown here, but also Cygor Brown is like way too intense in color and tends to leave really big splodging. Royal Run. Oh yeah, so marathon, yeah. Oh, great Canadian song. Might as well go for a soda. Nobody drowns and nobody dies. There we go. I was gonna say the Danish Royals are fucking insanely fit too. Your king, kind of a himbo. Like I'm just gonna come out and say it. The Danish king is kind of a himbo. He's fucking gorgeous. Denmark has the most attractive royal family out of all the Europeans. Like out of all of Europe, mostly because I don't know the other royal. Like I don't know royal families outside of some of the European ones. Dude, he's 57 and he looks 30. He's 57. He looks like he's 30. Not much off. Like honestly, man. Like I was gonna say, honestly, man, if it wasn't for the gray hair, I would genuinely have a hard time believing he wasn't in his 30s. But like, dude's got the straight silver fox thing happening. Like he's. And I also really appreciate like that he's the one that pushed massive health and fitness initiatives on the entire country, right? Like he's the one that wanted to see a healthier population, and a lot of his involvement in government and policy has been about helping Denmark become a literally healthier nation. Exactly. That's why that's why again I appreciate it. Like it's we're still technically Commonwealth here, despite the fact we're our own sovereign country. We do still have a Governor General, so the British Crown does still technically have authority over Canada. Although the Governor General has not gotten involved in Canadian politics since the King Bing Wing Ding. That is a real event in Canadian politics for anybody that's wondering. It's called the King Bing Wing Ding. Lord Bing, a representative of the British Crown, tried to override policies put in place by Canadian Prime Minister William Lyon Mackenzie King. Which is also where it gets really funny because it's called King Bing, but King is in reference to the Canadians and Bing is in reference to the King. But yeah, it's called the King Bing Wing Ding because it was between Lord Bing, who was the Governor General, and William Lyon Mackenzie King. And they had massive disagreements, and the British Crown tried to override and have him removed from office. And it led to some serious issues, to which, again, the Canadian media ended up dubbing the King Bing Wing Ding. It's also sometimes referred to as the King Bing Crisis. Although I prefer the other name because it's funny. I prefer the other name because it's silly. And to serve as his reminder, he painted her a picture, his painful reminder. And he keeps it in his binder, his painful reminder. His painful reminder. And he keeps it in his binder, this painful reminder. Let's go blue. Make a blue skelly. And this is showing you guys just like little things about how you can have so many different colors in your undead and they'll still look awesome. And how you can end up kind of getting a lot of variety amongst them without having to do a lot of work. His pen. Love this song. And he keeps it in his binder, his painful reminder. Yeah. Small parts. You know that, so when the last time I saw Chai, he was talking about this. And, it was, this is a genuine thing that happened. Except a lot of people might not know, this was a bit of a coming out song for him. A lot of it had to do with the fact that, his homeroom teacher was part of how he realized he was gay. But being the time it wasn't really safe for him to be singing about him being in love with another man. So Painful Reminder is just a gender swap. You might enjoy knowing that, Smalls. I figure being a bit of an SNFU fan yourself. second. I think I'll pull up a picture from the last time I saw him. Was I think about 6 or 7 months before he died? Was the last time? He's always a rad guy to run into. Always someone I enjoyed sharing a beer with. Here you go, Smalls. If you'd never seen that before. Here's from our last time hanging out. Yeah. Always a rad guy to hang out with. Boneless flirting again, I see. Dude, it's Ken. Like, I'm not gonna sleep with him or anything, but if he wants to give me a peck on the cheek, I'm not gonna say no. No, he was an awesome guy, though. And one of the... I'm not going to say one of, I would say the most influential Canadian punk rocker of all time. I think, like, Propagandhi, Daglos, DOA, like, Real Mackenzies, Dreadnoughts, they all have their impacts over the different generations that they played over. But I don't think anybody ever really did as much for us as SNFU did. Like, that's it was there's something else, and I really do think that they're like the pinnacle of showing just that dirty hardcore Canadian street punk in a very raw way before street punk ended up becoming more closely related to like D-beat or you know, like, yeah, I would say, like, you see a lot of it's more closely related to, like, especially street punk nowadays. You see it again; it's almost more closely related to D-beat, and like I like D-beat, but it's you know. Hang on, one of these fellas has bet to yeet his head. What's going on? But you know, like I like D-beat. So actually, I'm going to throw on a couple songs by Dysphere because I'm talking about D-beat right now. But then also, I'm going to throw some SNFU in there so we can just see as just as a stark progression, so you guys can just see how, like, you know, so you can see the cultural drift. But also, again, remembering that D-beat is more of an Eastern European genre, so it has a lot of Soviet influence. What do you think? I think that's one of the most underrated ones. I actually think this is one of his most underrated albums. And fun fact, Chai Pig agreed. Chai Pig agreed. Fuelaba did not get the love it deserved. I thought Fuelaba was a fucking great album. Those of you that don't know, Fuelaba is it's an acronym. It stands for fucking you up like a bad accident. Or fuck you up like a bad accident. But shortened to Fuelaba. One of the minis. He's about to toss his head. Oh yeah. Yeah, I did one of them as a headless zombie throwing his head. Look. Rather than putting the head on... I was like, why put the head on the body when he could be throwing his head at someone? Flesh terror. Let's go really red on some of these skellies. I'm also just gonna... Well, I've got that there. Decapitations tend to be quite gory, so don't be afraid to, like, over pull that red. Don't be and same thing here. See, I'm like letting it go around and be on his... And bring it down the whole front of him while you're setting this up. But yeah, little dysphere, you know? Get into that, like... And I love D-Beat. I think it's an awesome genre. It's just really weird to consider that, like, it is a subgenre that comes from punk rock. You know, most people hear this and their first thought isn't going to be like, ah, yes, punk band. I mean, the drumming is very, very punk, but you got a lot more like thrash influence in there too. I feel like doing that sometimes. Ripping your own head off and throwing it at somebody. I mean, I've never wanted to rip my own head off and throw it at somebody, but I'd be lying if I haven't had that moment where I wanted to pretend I was Kratos from God of War and pull somebody's arms off and start beating them with them. I've never wanted to throw my own head at somebody, but I've always wanted to beat somebody with their own arm. And just yelling, quit hitting yourself the whole time. I am an emotionally healthy person. I swear. Deep down, I wish I had a shark mouth. I could just take bites out of people. You don't need a shark mouth to take bites out of people. You just gotta believe in yourself. Come on. I think Jeffrey Dahmer would have something to say about that. So, and again, see what you guys have, what we're doing here. We're just kind of like washing the skeletons to be a baseline color. We got a blue one, we got a red one, we got pink one. And while we're doing this really quickly, guys, what color should the cloth be? What color should the cloth element be? The armor is going to be a steely blue-black with hot rod flames. We are going to try to do the box art flames on the armor. Oh, you know what? Smalls, I know that I don't know if you're here. You got to put the feed the youngins or not. I know it's about that time, but if you're still here, I gotta ask: you seen the movie Hardcore Logo? You're here? Okay. Yeah, have you seen Hardcore Logo before? It is, again, it's an absolute masterpiece Canadian film about a punk band trying to go on tour across Western Canada. It's starring Hugh Dillon from the Headstones. They got Hugh Dillon playing a punk rocker going by the name Joe Dick as they're trying to raise money for their buddy's benefit who got both of his legs shot off in a robbery. It's really funny. I think it's, again, I really, if anybody hasn't seen it, highly recommend Hardcore Logo. It's a masterpiece of silly and like really good storytelling, but also it's very Canadian, so I feel like the humor's not gonna land on a lot of people. Because it's not the like it's not like the Letterkenny kind of Canadian humor. It's the less well known kind. The less I think because it's like not just Canadian humor, but it's Canadian punk rock humor. So it's like the most niche kind of humor you could find is it's making jokes about like, hey, let's make jokes that only are going to land in one specific country. Hey, on top of that, let's make jokes that are only going to land within like the smallest subculture within that country. Let's make a movie for like 2,000 people. And this one is just a lesson on why you don't ride your bike intoxicated. So what I'm going to do now, guys, is I'm going to start putting flesh tone down. Basic skin. This is going to be my fucking lifeblood of this project. We're going to mix it into the base colors of all of the flesh. And then we're going to start doing some dry brushing. Not maybe dry brushing, but we're going to stipple. Maybe dry brush it. Fuck it. We'll see. Shit. Blue. Lace was scraping him. It's on YouTube Movies. Highly recommend it then. Highly recommend it. I think you'll have a great time watching it. I don't know that it's a movie I could recommend to everyone, but it's a movie I can confidently recommend to you. I still think, like, going back, one of the best shows, like I think, like, punk shows, best punk band I've probably seen perform was, well, Dreadnoughts, because they went on for, that was just that was a kind of a special night, like, because I saw them doing their original farewell show, and they took, like, 6 or 7 years off after that. So, like, you know, they played a 3.5, 4-hour set. They played their entire discography up to that point, which was 3 full albums, as well as an EP. So, like, they played like a 45-song set. So that one takes the cake as like a really special one, but the only other band I've seen that came close to that was Oi Polloi. Oi Polloi put on such a fucking good show, and they were just the nicest guys ever. I managed to catch the Ramones twice. They were absolutely relentless. So, I mean, it's pretty obvious I'm too young to have been able to see the Ramones, but I got to see No Means No Clones the Ramones. And it was really fun because, you know, it's No Means No. They're dressed up as the Ramones. They're playing a Ramones show. But what they did perfectly is, and you're going to love this, Smalls, because having seen the Ramones, when No Means No does Clone the Ramones, they don't finish the songs. They get about 60% of the way through, and then they count in the next song. Which is how the Ramones used to play their sets. They would never finish a song. They would just immediately halfway, 2/3 of the way through, 1, 2, 1, 2, into the next one. Authentic as fuck, right? Right? Like if I know it's a cover show and everything. It's No Means No. They're a good band to be doing it. But yeah, I think that's the part that like really sold me on the show when I was seeing it. I also saw them as Hanson Brothers, and that one's really fun too. Hanson Brothers is probably a little too Canadian for most people. It's like the most Canadian hardcore band in the world. Which ones do we got in here? They've only got one Hanson Brothers album in here. Fuck it, we'll throw it on. We'll throw it on. Who doesn't want an entire punk band that is exclusively singing about their love of hockey? Dressed up like the Hanson Brothers from Slapshot. Also a No Means No act. They're a great band. So these are zombies again. We're just gonna use this kind of stippling around dry brushy movement. Something just happened there. What happened you saw there was called the stomach wasn't dry. So you saw the pants started doing weird shit. So let's reload the brush. Try that again. Hopefully it doesn't behave as weird. Yeah, I love going to see live shows. I'm really excited. I'm getting to see Against All Authority in a couple of weeks. They're playing at Skafest. Skafest is a great show, or a great fest every year. Like I've been 3 or 4 years now. Every time I have a great time. Like Skafest always kicks ass. Went last year. I skipped the year before that. More Bloodbowl stellets. And when we come back from ads, we're going to start doing some shoutouts. Watch, we're just going to start building up our colors. So for anybody who's a newer painter in here, the reason we're doing this is because I want to demo a really easy way to just get your guys to tabletop that will look pretty fucking good when you have the whole thing done. There we go. That's one done. Ska, is it? This is going to a live concert. Ska Fest happens next month. Yeah. It's end of June every year. And it is, I don't go to any of the ska shows. because it's a festival celebrating ska, reggae, as well as the influences of the genre. So there's a ska show, a reggae show, a punk show, and a rap show, because it's about not only about supposed to be playing in Edinburgh last week, supporting our Sax Players Brothers band. Ooh. Smalls, if you're comfortable with it, what is your band? You guys have any music on Spotify or anything? Like, we've talked about your music. We've talked about your love of music. If you're comfortable sharing it, I'd love to put some on. Again, it's an if you're comfortable thing, because I know that kind of stuff can also release information you might not want to share. So, up to you. No, it's just covers and stuff. No worries. Nothing wrong with just covers and stuff. One of my friends is actually in a cover band. They're called the Cover Girls, and they just do covers in drag. It's a bunch of guys in dresses who just do covers. They call themselves the Cover Girls. It's brilliant. Fucking brilliant. 10 out of 10, peak comedy. Yes and no, Man, because it took me a while to get comfortable playing local bands on stream, for example, because it's like, if I play certain music and I'm talking about it being from where I'm from, you know, it's giving a lot of personal information away. And not everybody's going to be comfortable with that, you know, like, I try to not share certain things, but I mean, I've accidentally brought up the city I live in more than a couple times. I've never named it my name, but I have. Just play bike rallies and local nonsense? Hell yeah! Does it make you happy? Because that's all that matters. Does it bring you joy, Smalls? Because that's it doesn't matter what kind of music you're playing. It doesn't matter where you're playing it. If it's making you happy and you like doing it. I mean, let's be real. It's if you're a musician, you got to accept that reality, because that's about. It's like art, where most of us cap out it. We just have to accept that it's something we love. And if it brings us joy, that's all that matters. If I, you know. If I go the rest of my painting career without any recognition, and I, you know, this is if this ends up being, you know, the you know, my ceiling, I'd still be happy. It's like I accomplished lots. And everything I did brought me joy in the process. Obviously, this is not me saying I'm going to stop or anything, but it's just, yeah. As long as it makes you happy. That's all I'm saying. Okay. I'm going to take some more of my fleshy tone down, because we're going to go back in and do some more dry brushing. If it brings you joy, it's all that matters. Let's get my paint mixer. Oh yeah, I'm happy playing. I dipped my toe into the real stuff with original material touring. It was a fantastic experience, but I'm happier playing covers with your friends. I don't know a lot of people who love the touring life, honestly. I got a couple friends who've done it. And like that is, yeah, like Smalls, I don't know many of them who liked it, or like where it ended up really being their thing at the end of it. It's stressful, and you come back broke, and people don't realize that it's like, yeah, you might have made some money from your shows and things, but I just took 3 months off work that I wasn't fucking getting paid for to do this. Like, I would have made more money just going into my 9 to 5. There's always an element of that. And like, I got buddies who do a tour every 2 years because it takes them almost 2 years to save up the money to go on tour. They're independent and they fund their tours independently, which is incredible and very, very hard to do. Which again, Smalls, you've mentioning you've done tours, so you can vouch to anybody in here who's curious about that. Self-funding a tour, exactly. But you got to do what you got to do. For me, I love painting. I love making art. I love hanging out with you weirdos on the internet. Oh, did it just cut into propaganda? No, this is Bigwig? Is it Bigwig or propaganda? Satanic Surfers? Would not have guessed that. Coming over to the Greenie Boys again. Look at this, guys. How much actual painting have we done on these so far? We've just used the dry brush. I'm gonna do lots of technique-based stuff. Because we're doing free-handed flames on the armor. So I kind of I want the skin to look good, but I also don't actually want the dead flesh to be what steals the attention on this. Because I can either make the rot and the corpse parts the centerpiece and what draws the attention, or I can make the armor be what draws the attention. And so you have to make that choice right off the get, or right while you're working on them, is which is going to be your focal point in these, because not everything gets to be the star of the show. Unless you're doing high-end display painting in which then every single element of the model has to be the star of the show. I hate painting that because literally I'm going to be doing a lesson on a bicep later. But you know what? That's the part on that model that has been stressing me out the most, and I want to get through that hump so that way I can get back to finishing the goblin so I can have him mounted and on a plinth and really start planning out the rest of him for SMC. And load into the blue. As you can see, this one is not attached to his base very well. Let's fix that too. He's wiggly wobbling on me way too much. I've been cementing them. Another band he's in. It's 5 years now. One of my buddies' bands, they're good. We listened to them on stream lots. A few of my friends' bands we listen to quite a bit. Let's Let's throw one of them on, though, because you guys always seem to enjoy when we do Under the Mountain. And they always enjoy the exposure. As long as I'm repeatedly remembering to make sure to say, we are listening to Under the Mountain. Except it's not going to load, is it? Fucking Spotify. Whatever. You know what? Fine. You win, Spotify. We'll just keep you on shuffle for now. Not a bad song, though. Bit on the sides. And yeah, let's start doing some shout outs now. First one in today was Jinx. If anybody does not know Jinx Dart, she's an incredible painter, an incredible artist, and is available for both commission and private lessons. So if you're looking to accelerate your painting game, hit her up. And if you want cool ass custom pieces, hit her up. Not, you know, like she can do armies, she can do all that, but like if you want a fucking like a nice centerpiece for your army, hit her up. I handle the bulk painting. You want you want something like fucking something that you're gonna be proud to show off, and that's gonna have people going, "Ooh, what's this?" every time you're playing. There we go. Let's do the purple one next. So if you are new here, my name is Studio Boneless. I paint on Thursdays, Fridays, Sundays, and Mondays. We go live at 10 a.m. We stay live till when we feel like it. At least 2, sometimes 3, sometimes we go way later than that. I have a lesson after stream today, so end of stream will be a hard and fast stopping point for me as well, because it's going to be I've been at my desk since I started painting, getting my prep ready for stream at about 6:30 this morning, and it's currently 11:40, so I've been sitting here for just over 5 hours, despite having only been live for an hour and a bit. And I'm going to give it a quick flick, and grab that with the got a little Method Man, METHOD man. Bang the shit with a spike fucking bat. What? Can't seem to wake up again. All right, who's ready for the final step of the skin? Load your brush up with just the pure skin tone now. Using soft circular motions here. And there you guys go. Fast, easy zombie flesh. Look at that. How easy was that? We base coated it and we dry brushed it a bunch, right? Especially considering, you know, say you're getting ready for like Zombicide or something where you need a bunch. Tried Airsoft for the first time yesterday. I'm sore all over, but it was a very fun experience. Hell yeah, dude. Should go. I've been meaning to go paintballing at some point. Oh, that's the other thing. What's the big gun range in Vegas? Is anybody? Where's that located? Pretty sure there's a fucking like massive range on the strip that lets you. I think I might take my partner out shooting for the first time when we're there. Let her do it with something fun, you know. She doesn't need to be, you know, like I like my Lee Enfield, or I liked having the Lee Enfield, but she'd probably have more fun with something, you know, a little more exciting. There we go. Got the purpley flash. Went with two of my buddies. Surprised how well we work together, man. They still do. COD is partially funded by the U.S. or Call of Duty is still partially funded by the U.S. military. That is still a thing. Call of Duty actually ended up being one of the greatest recruitment tools of the U.S. military. Like, if I remember correctly, it was one of their better working recruitment tools. For any of you guys think I'm crazy, you just look up what I'm talking about. Anybody's going like, Boneless going off on conspiracies. Like, no, this is a real thing. You can look it up that the U.S. military funds war movies and video games to make them look positive in the public light. It's actually quite difficult to get an approval. But yeah, if you look up American propaganda within Hollywood, if you look into or any forms of like propaganda within Hollywood. But yeah, that sounds like a really fun time, dude. I'm going to show you guys really quickly after I'm done dry brushing this one here, how it gives us 3 really fast and honestly good looking guys in a matter of moments. Okay, I'm going to put my dry brush down. Got like 3 hours on Tarkov, so... all the actors in Black Hawk Down were, yeah. Well, Black Hawk Down came under a lot of flack as well due to its... I don't want to get into it, that pun. So here you guys go. Just showing off really quickly how you can get... Look at this. How long did it take us? Solid movie, agreed. How long did it take us to get 3 different colors of zombie skin? Funnily enough, the next step on all of them is going to be the exact same thing. It's going to be dry brushing the flesh tone. Except with these ones, we have... I'm going to see. Check really quick. Yeah. So you're just aggressively going to come in on the skeletons now. You know what, this guy... I want to attach his other foot down because he's causing me too much grief. I've never cemented models to the bases before. This is a new thing I'm doing. But I'm out of super glue right now, so hopefully I'm not making a mistake here by doing this. I mean, I do know it means that I'll probably never be able to get them off of their bases because they are adhered chemically. All right, 3 of them are flimsy, 3 of them aren't. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Give everybody a time to cure there. Oh, you guys can see I still have my airbrush booth set up behind me. There we go. Melt. Also, I don't know why it says 10 by 4. It's 10 by 6. It's a prison cell. Just listening to the music there. It's a thought that I just had. I was like, prison cells are 10 by 6, not 10 by 4. it was 10 by 4, you wouldn't be able to fit a person. Like, yeah. The reason I know that is not because I've spent a lot of time in or around prison cells. It's because when I first got my own place, the bedroom I was able to afford was only 9 feet by 6 feet. And we discovered, because I was like complaining about how small it was, I was like, dude, this is like, this has got to be smaller than a prison cell. And then we looked up how large a prison cell was, and we found out it was 10 by 6. So yes, the first place I lived in was smaller. Like, my first room I ever had was smaller than a prison cell. Citrus and I used to hang out there all the time. I don't know if she's in here right now. Citrus, if you're here, those were good times. Nothing like getting drunk and then getting your ass kicked in Scrabble. That was like a regular occurrence back then. Was like we would like just drink, watch movies, and play Scrabble and shit like that. I don't drink anymore, but it was still fun back then to play some Scrabble, have some wobbly pop. Oh, Saturday will be fun, brutal. Ooh, what's happening Saturday? I need to put a tiny bit of Ruddy Terra down because this one's just going to need a bit of a different transition tone. The bandages. So watch, we're going to pop the mummy end screen. Just loading up Ruddy Terra, which is darker. But you want to establish more of those kind of darker colors on the bandage here before he transitions. But like, these models are genuinely just meant to be. I actually think that these models were designed with a dry brush. I've never painted a model that felt more like it was meant to be dry brushed. Load up some more. So now I can apply the highlight color that I just did on them. Lighter brush pressure. There we go. You guys see what I mean about why I'm like, dude, this model is just made to be dry brushed. Now for the skellies and for the mummy now, we're going to take a bit of ivory mixed in to the flesh tone, and that's going to be a nice little highlight color. We don't want to go with pure ivory, but we want to have because I want to have the ability, if I decide to come in and do like some like edge highlights or just some touch highlights, I want to still have ivory available to me. That's good there, yeah. Waste lots of paint in the process too. It's always a real pro move is to put way too much down on the palette. Being very careful. Now, brightest highlight. See how it's only going at the very top facing areas. We just don't want to overdo it. Done. Go. Skelly number 2. Skelly number 3. And then we'll get a shout out for the next one on our list there, Mr. Small Parts, Sharp Points. Everybody's having an excellent day so far. It's a quiet one, and I am okay with that. I'm getting a lot of we've been getting a lot done lately on stream. I mean, we got through both the Palanite boxes in, I think it was 13 models, and it took us 10 hours. We did it in the course. We did it over 2 streams. We got through both boxes. These guys will probably be, other than the flames, ready to go by end of day today. We're not going to be able to get we are not going to be able to finish the freehand flames on everyone today. We'll be able to get everything up to that. And then we'll come in maybe Thursday, freehand all the flames. And then we'll and where's my phone? I need to ask my wife a favor really quickly. There it is. There we go. We just remembered we're out of something. So trying to be like, hey, can you grab this on your way home? Yeah, there we go. About to go shopping. I'm going to clean my dry brush off really quickly because I am done my dry brush step. All right, really quickly, guys. What color are the shorts going to be? What color are the shorts on them? If you guys don't make a decision, it's going to be hot pink. If you guys do not make a decision, it's going to be hot pink. Hot pink. There we go. Fucking love painting hot pink. Like, I genuinely just love painting, like, hot pink and bubblegum pink and, like... Okay. A dreaded failed Imagineer. His private dismay on public display. Son, do not be alarmed by your old man's tears. Hey, old man, it's okay. One second. Does that mean we should do pink flames on these when we do the black armor? What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Does that mean we're gonna try and do pink flames or like purple pink flame, purple and pink fire? I like this. We found a way to take the box art, do something different, and still add that classic boneless spin on it. So thank you for that. Well, the yellow and pink look good together too. So if I do black armor with yellow flames, like that will also work. Flesh months we've passed away on the cold Kamchatka Sea, but now we're bound from the Arctic ground, rowing down to old Maui. When Spook gets in here, I actually owe him a song still. He redeemed Sing for me, essentially. Rolling down to old Maui. Once more we sail with the northerly gale through the ice and wind and rain. Them coconut fronds, them tropical lands we soon shall see again. Even now their big brown eyes look out, hoping some fine day to see our baggy sails rowing for the gales, going down to old Maui. This is a fun one. This is the Dreadnoughts. This is like one of my favorite of my generation Canadian punk bands. Like my generation, they're the best Canadian punk band. They're the greatest Canadian punk band of my generation. How soft the breeze through the island trees, now the ice is far astern. Them native maids, them tropical glades is awaiting our return. I will rant and roar and go ashore. I'll paint the beaches red. I'll awaken in the arms of a Wahi maid with a big fat aching head. That's exactly what I'm thinking. Well, it's again because it's also a sports team, right? So them having a very consistent uniform is important. It's everybody will have the same outfit on. It's not like I'm not going to do when I'm doing Blood Bowl teams. I don't do variations on models. I don't do like color variations. Everybody will have the same outfit on. And there we go. Exactly. That's why we did that. They get the variety from the skin tones and from all of that. I realize though, I paint a lot of pink, don't I? It's not a bad thing. I really like painting pink, I think. And I don't get to do a lot in this color, so I think that's why again I kind of enjoy doing it. People are very rarely being like, paint me a magenta army. And there we go. And there we go. Another set of pink trousers. I'm going to start organizing so I can see what we've done and what we still need to do. So 1, 2, 10. Got the pink. Betray. I have both versions in my playlist. It's just for some reason it always seems to pick this one. But fun fact, I do actually have both versions. There we go. Pink pants. And there we go. Another set of pink pants. That's 7 out of technically 14, but I forgot to prime one of them, so I only have 13 of them. But it's okay, again, because it really is a color scheme, and getting the other mummy is probably not the part that I'm going to be stressing about. You guys saw how fast the mummy was to paint. So if you're new here again, I'm live on Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, Mondays. We go live from 10 a.m., usually till about 2 or 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Got a private lesson after stream today, so we are shutting the stream down probably exactly on time, if not 5-10 minutes early. And also realizing I kept saying I'm going to throw him a shout out when we get back from break, and I never did. He's an absolute gem. Mr. Small Parts, Sharp Points. If you don't know who he is a really great person. Good streamer, good content creator, good person, and good taste in music. Like getting to watch Studio Boneless with a Scottish accent. Balding head and all. It's like watching Studio Boneless, receding hairline and all. He's just at the stage where he's accepted it, coped with it, and has like the nice smooth head. You wrote it right as I know. I was laughing. I was like, as long as. But yeah, make sure if you're not following Mr. Small Parts Sharp Points, please consider doing so. There are not many people I could spend 48 hours with and not be wanting to throttle them by the end of it. That's actually, I think, the thing that impressed me the most about when we did the 48-hour stream is like I've never been able to be with anybody other than like my partner for 48 hours without like getting really fucking snippy. Usually by like hour 10, I'm kind of a dick. So like it was really rad to hang out with people that were actually so fucking awesome that like I genuinely just did not ever find that is like "Arr." Went insane and got no rain. I'm head bobbing. I do always enjoy me some Cypress Hill. And I'm out in the 9 deuce cat. And there we go. They've all got their pink shortsies on now. And you see, guys, why I was saying, like, this moves almost too fast? Like, painting undead models is almost too easy. Just gotta check one thing. Make sure, what time is my thing? Okay. Just so everybody knows, we gotta shut stream down at 2 o'clock today. Or so about 1:50, we're gonna shut down right out. A little earlier than usual. I have my lessons at 2. So. Just heads up on that. I have to like double check what time that was at. I'm being like, I don't want to run over. Okay, next up. I'm gonna actually not use my good brush for mixing here again. I'm gonna go with black and a tiny touch of jade paint. Same system essentially we'd been using for the black on the other models. If you guys remember how we did the black on the Palanites with the kind of creating that steely black. Cover me with love, roll me in designer sheets, I'll never get enough. Whiskey's like, this is all This is a great song. This one is also one of my boxing songs. One second, I need the music. Going slow there, but trying to show that it's one of the ones that we used to use in boxing to try and keep the... Every time you hear the drum essentially hit, you want to be connecting on the bag. Essentially, 3 minutes, exactly 3 minutes of rhythm fighting. How to maintain your rhythm, how to get into a flow, and also finding rhythms is how you essentially learn how to speed up. But one of my coaches was a big fan of fighting to music as a way to kind of learn. And then as well, you can, when you're calling combos, you can actually, like a coach at that point can call out song names and your combos will be drilled into you by the name of the song. So it's a way for, so if your coach doesn't have to call out your punches, they can call out a song title. And your brain should just immediately hear that song title and throw whatever sequence you hear. Pop, 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 pop. The rhythm on that one is hard to maintain, though, for an extended period of time. Yeah, about 150 Pacific Standard Time. We're gonna raid out because that gives me time to then, not just raid and run, but also gives me time to like quickly eat and use the washroom before I have to then go back into painting. Because 10 hours at the desk is a long time at the desk. Am a world before I am a man. There we go. Armor is blocked in on the skelly. And then when we do raid, I think we'll raid into Jace because he's going to be live for a while. I think he usually goes for quite some time when because didn't go live until like I think like maybe like an hour before me. He often does like 6-7 hour streams. So when exactly right, like especially when he's just coming off of his night shifts, so like he'll probably be live for a while tonight. And that's where I would end up after stream anyways. So I kind of like if you guys I kind of like to raid into channels, and like I know I pick the same ones a lot. Also cuz it's safe. I don't have to gamble on raiding into somewhere and being like, "Oh no, this is not a match. This is this is not a." So, but I try to just pick wherever I'm going to end up most likely. So whatever streams I tend to be watching at that point, or whatever stream I want to watch after I'm done. But also trying to make sure I get a personality match to the audience is always kind of important. Because if you don't, then you just raid in and then everybody immediately leaves. He just started a co-stream with Stinger. Okay, yeah, so he'll be on for a while. So we're not raiding out for another hour, but we know where we're gonna go when we do now. Yeah, we're still gonna be live for about another hour, but yeah, well that's definitely where we're gonna go. Is there box art? But box art's been live since I think like 6, so I don't see him being live too much longer. He often tends to shut it down around this time. These are really easy to paint, as you guys see. And this is a nice color because it's just one coat, getting us that nice opacity that we need. And like such. Okay, 1 second. All right, I'm just trying to figure out where my wife is as well, because earlier she told me she was gonna go. She told me her plans changed, and I'll tell you all about it. She's like, I just got to go use the washroom really quickly. Then she went into the washroom, proceeded to come out of the washroom, and then just leave the house without telling me anything. And that was now 4 hours ago. She just she told me she was going to tell me what the plan was, then completely forgot to tell me, and then just left. She does this a lot. This is a pretty regular occurrence. Very, very commonly, she tells me she does the thing where she thinks things and then just doesn't communicate beyond that. And because she thought it's I have to just know. And it's been getting really frustrating. Because it would be nice if people like just I don't care that you're going out, but like, can you just tell me what's going on or where you are or what your plans are? Not just leaving the house without telling me. After not telling me you're gonna tell me what you're doing and then leaving without saying shit. I don't know. Because like, yeah, it's one of those things where like I told her what we were doing today, and then she's being weird. She's being really weird today. Last couple days. Yeah, man, I feel that, but I can't do anything about that for the time being. But it's just like, yeah, and I don't know, like she's. I explicitly told her like 5 or 6 times today that I was like, I'm not reading. You're allowed to be home. You're allowed to make noise. You're allowed to do your thing. And then repeatedly, she kept asking. She's like, "Well, what are you doing for work today? Like, are you reading?" And I kept telling her, I was like, "No, I'm not doing it. I'm painting. It's okay. Like, you don't need to be quiet. I'm not doing a reading stream today." And I swear, it just keeps turning back into like it goes in one ear, out the other. And then now it's the whole like, well, I thought I wasn't allowed to be home. And it's like, well, why would you think that? Anyways, working on the communication. We're working on communication. Yeah, so that's the problem, Man, is she gets really resentful about the fact that I'm working from home. And then like I get it's like so like she'll think that she'll impose a bunch of rules that are things I've never told her to do. And then she'll start getting mad at me about the things that she thinks she has to do that I've never told her to do. It's an ordeal. It's a whole ordeal. But yeah, honestly, at the end of it, like the only one that's really gets to me is the fact that she will think things at you and then just go and do them and then not understand that it's like you just disappeared for several hours. Like you just told me, "Hey, I'm gonna go let you know what my plans are," and then disappeared for 5 hours. Yeah, yeah. Without getting too far into it, man, it doesn't create an environment of trust. It does not create an environment of trust. Yeah, and again, like it'll be what it'll be. It's just annoying, right? Mostly because like the annoyance is not like the disappearing or any of that. The annoyance is the telling me you're going to tell me what you're doing and then not doing it and then disappearing. That's the part that bugs me because it's like, okay, well, like you said you were going to do something. Why aren't you doing it? That's kind of the thing that like if the only thing that actually like if anybody So, because I know some of you guys like know me a bit better than others. The only thing that actually really irks me is when people say they will do something and then don't do it. The only thing that actually really bothers me in life, like other than, the obvious things like blatant racism and, other shit, like without getting into, the obvious things that make a person angry, like the only actual thing that sets me off is when people tell me they're going to do something over and over and over again and just never do it. Or people who say they'll do things and don't do them. It's the only thing that makes me mad. I think it's the worst character trait a person can have. Super frustrating, right? It is what it is. Again, it's the only one that gets me. Just if you tell me you're going to do something, do it. Or communicate with me why you can't or why you didn't, but just like I honestly like lack of communication is just lack of respect in my opinion. Thankfully, it went a little better than I expected it to. She just messaged back a little while, like 5 minutes ago, being like, "Yeah, sorry about that. I did like it was kind of nice because at least I got accountability where it wasn't the like I didn't do that. It was immediately just like, oh fuck, I'm sorry. It's like okay, well I forgive you. We can move on. You acknowledged it happened. You said you were sorry. You didn't try to fucking go into okay. That's the other one. If you go into denial mode, then afterwards, I think that's actually might be the only that's another one. Sorry, is being honest here is it's the other flip side of it is then when you like if you do that and it happens and you get called out on it and you just acknowledge and apologize, we're cool. Again, immediately we'll drop it. That's if you can acknowledge you made a mistake, I don't give a fuck. Mistakes happen. Mistakes happen constantly. I make more mistakes in a day than most people would ever realize. I'm making mistakes fucking always. But the thing about making mistakes is you gotta fix them. You don't get everything right. But pretending you didn't make a mistake doesn't lead to you getting better. It doesn't lead to an improved situation. It doesn't result in you becoming a better artist or a better person. Trust me, I'm probably not looking forward to all the feedback I'm about to get in my private lesson here because this is going to be the first time like we're getting in like a one-on-one phone call going over my artwork and my pieces. And I guarantee you I'm going to hear some stuff I do not want to hear today. And I know Jinx will like try and like be gentle, but it's going to happen. And you accept that. It's like, you do what you can, be coachable, take the feedback and be graceful. And that's exactly it. Yeah, Jinx, did you I thought I've been really clear about that. Jinx is my coach. Why do you think I plug the fact she does private lessons constantly? Other than also the fact she's a rad person. But no, like, she does my private lessons. That's why I bring it up. Oh, yes, we're doing one today. That's at 2 o'clock. That's why I have to make sure that stream is shut down on time, and why I was, like, keeping an eye on the time and looking for a raid target and all that, because... And I know it's going to be fine, and I know it's going to be awesome. I'm so excited to be... I'm so excited to be taking myself more seriously in my art, at least. I mean, like, I don't take myself too seriously in the bad way, but like, I'm excited to be taking my art seriously and treating it like an actual... I don't know. I'm taking a big gamble on myself, and I'm proud of myself for doing it. Got a leggy plate. I'm realizing I missed a bunch of short on the skeletons. That's okay. We'll tidy it all up. Because again, the plan for today, as I mentioned, we were going to get everything base coated. And I think that for the fact that we've... Okay, we're at 2.5 hours painting this across the whole squad, you know? So I think we're hitting a pretty good progress point for the fact that we're less than 3 hours into the project for painting. It's not including the couple hours I spent building it this morning. So yeah, I think next 2 Blood Bowl teams I'm going to do, we'll do, I think, are going to be halflings and necromantic horrors. Necromantic horrors are slightly different than the Shambling Undead. That one is the Halloween box, and you get like sheet ghosts and scarecrows as well as skeletons and zombies. But the part I love the most about it is that you get sheet ghosts. All together now. Blue paint. Or off, this is my off black. I really do like it. Okay, 1 second. Literally just one more to do the armor on. Then we'll come back in. We're going to do the areas that we missed of the shorts on some of the skeletons, because some of the skellies have pants on. And we're also going to come through and we're going to get all the straps and all of the boots and all the leather details with just a quick brown. Yeah, I think for a project I started building this morning, I took it out of the box. Like when I say started building, I mean like I had nothing clipped, nothing prepped. I started these today at about. So this is just a morning's worth of, dicking around. And then pulled out my mushroom tip. And when it came out, it went drip, drip, drip. I didn't know she had the G.I. Joe Kung Fu grip. And I went, oh, and a girl caressed me down. And that's the loving sound. I went, oh, and a girl caressed me down. That's the loving sound. Did I miss anything else? Nope. Okay. There we go. Got that one. Okay, let's knock in those. I'm going to do a quick once over. Make sure that everybody's painted in all the way. And just the aftermath of running the thing today. I'm getting so tired right now, guys. Yeah, we're gonna hit this contrast. Where is it? Over the leather details, and then yeah, we're gonna raid out because I'm gonna fall asleep at my desk if I don't, and I need to get up, stretch, eat, do some stuffs because I'm got a lot of painting still to do today. The fuck did this go? How did I lose? Where the fuck is this? There we go. That's kind of why I'm like, I'm going to take a minute, have a quick break before I have my lessons. Giving myself, 20 minutes to or 40 minutes to reset. Okay, 1 second. Yeah, remember. And now I can do what I needed to do. All right, no worries. We're gonna finish up what we're doing here, and then yeah, I'm gonna raid out because I got my paint lessons, and I am quite tired. Normally 2.5 hours is a pretty short stream for me, but I don't see us being live for more than another 5-10 minutes. We'll go see Jace. Here we go.
Just miss those brown straps like that.
And belts, straps, and boots. Oh my. And enjoy the lessons and teaching. I shall. I will enjoy the lessons. Again, we're gonna get some more contrast applied across a few bootsies here, but yeah, it's not gonna take us long. And that's gonna be a good, again, stopping point for me today. And then hopefully I will be able to come back with the knowledge I need to keep progressing on my goblin. And another Skelly. Getting all just a bit of Cygor Brown. Again, if you're not following already, please consider doing so. It'd help out a ton. We're live on Thursdays, Fridays, Sundays, and Mondays. I go live at 10. We stay live until 3 p.m., except on Mondays. We shut it down at 2. Why? To ensure my weekend starts at 3 p.m. on Mondays. That I'm actually taking my adequate time off and taking breaks and like taking care of myself. And getting paid money for religious speech. Okay, 3 more after this one. The big bad wolf, the little piggy slasher. I think everybody's heard the story about the time I was one of the 3 little pigs. Showing those pictures off in Discord. You guys have seen the more moderate versions of them. The ones where I have my shirt on. All right. Here we go. Belty belt. Got that. And there we go. Close that one off. There's a couple of other little details that I missed, like a couple spots that are supposed to be pink, but I'm going to grab those off camera, and we're going to raid out here as soon as I get this done, and then we'll go and see what Jace and Stinger UK are up to. And yeah, we're going to close that up now. Okay, I'm raiding out. No worries, guys. I will see you all later. I hope you have an excellent rest of your day, and I will be back on Thursday.